Well, hello everybody. This is Bugeater 64 again, welcoming you to another stream here on Twitch. And I want to welcome you in. Hope we have fun today. Today we're flying the EV-55. Um, let's see if we can get a picture of it here. And there we are. There's our EV-55. And this may be, not keeping my fingers crossed here, but this is another version of it, and this may be the one that goes public. So we're going to do a quick flight here from San Diego International to John Wayne International in Santa Ana, California. So it's only about 65 miles, but we're going to go ahead and get started here and get on our way. So that being said, let's go inside here and close up our cargo in the nose, and we'll hold off on the rest right now. First of all, I want to go ahead and get some power to the aircraft, and we'll go ahead and look at our nav stack and see about getting it set up here. Go to fly. There's well, that's where we're going to go. And let's go here. And San Diego to Santa Ana. So we're going to go ahead and enter that. And we'll go ahead and activate. And there is our flight plan. So that's looking good. Let's go over here and, well, we're not going to Half Moon Bay. So let's go ahead and fix that. Yeah, stop that. Well, if that's the way you're going to be. That one we're going to clear. So let's go ahead and there we go. All right. So we got our flight plan set up. Let's take a look back here at back here to the rear doors. We got them all open. So let's see about getting the passengers on board here. This is a SimBuddy flight, so we're going to be loading passengers. So let's go ahead and get those fine people loaded up here. And since it's such a short flight, we're doing it general aviation, so I don't have to worry about feeding them and giving them drinks, things like that. We'll get them on board, get them seatbelted in, and give them a little bit of musical entertainment. And there we go. And with that done, now we can go ahead and get that out of the way and start setting up our aircraft to get the engine started. So let's go ahead. We've got that set up. Turn on that. There. And just crack the throttles a little bit. Alrighty. Parking brake is on. So let's see if we can start this engine. Turn our beacon on so people know we're doing something here. And while that's starting up, let's go ahead and close the back doors. That'll quiet things down a bit. Give it a minute here to let the engine settle down. And let's get the generator turned on. All right. And turn that on. We'll turn that one off now. And we'll get the left engine started here. Alright, looks like it's starting up nicely. That generator on, turn the ignition off. And let's go ahead and turn our strobes, nav lights, seatbelt, no smoking signs, of course, taxi lights. Nose wheel steering is engaged. Okay. So, let's take a look outside. Okay, rudder works. Okay. Looks like flight controls are working properly. So, with that said, and I think we're about ready to go. So, let's take a look at our flight map. And we'll be taking off runway 27. So we're just going to sneak around this airplane, come over here at the end of the runway, and be on our way. This is my first flight in the new XPlane 11 1.10 R1. I just downloaded this update today. So we're going to see how she works. So far she's working fine. Right now I'm sitting on the ground in the EV-55 and averaging 32 frames a second, which is partly, I'm hoping, because of the update, and also because of some changes I made. So I overclocked my i7 just a touch, not much, and we'll see how things go. So hold on and let's get on our way. Brake off. And we're going to sneak around our friend there. Yeah, looks like we've got a small problem here. Alright, so that being said, throttle back, apply the brake, and see what's going on with our number one engine. Which has stopped. Don't know why that happened. I don't think I turned anything off. Looks like it's spooling up. Let's watch the gauges a little bit here. And number one engine is failing again. Interesting. So what is going on here? It is certainly not behaving today. I'm sorry for this. We'll see if we can't figure out what's going on and certainly change it. Okay, looks like we got it back. We got both engines running. If you were with me when my engine crashed, because again, not the airplane's problem, it was mine. Didn't tie in my electronics, so there wasn't enough power to run both engines. What can I tell you? I am not a professional pilot. Alright, so engines are running. Let's get out of here. Now that I've made enough mistakes. Again, brakes off. And we'll be moving to the airfield, or the end of the runway. I'm okay today, sure. Not a problem. And as always, the sky and clouds are done, our XPlane 11 stock. The airport, both here and John Wayne, are Mr. X. The EV-55 aircraft is by Evector and can be found at the org. Your pilot is Bugeater 64, who does his best but has a lot to learn. And I'm grateful for your kind considerations. And as always, constructive yeah, constructive. Yeah, I'm all right. Constructive criticism is always welcome and accepted. And so, let's flaps down to takeoff position. Nose wheel steering off. Throttle applied. Airspeed is alive. Rotate. Nice easy climb. Landing gear up. Flaps up. Okay. Nav. Altitude. All right, and come back on the RPM just a hair, and on our mixture, that should keep everything in the green. And go down here, turn off our taxi lights. And we never turned on our landing lights. So, I'll get docked on that. I was a bad boy. So, let's take a look at our EV-55 on the outside. And as you can see, the scenery is done with orthos. Alrighty, so we are on our way. Southern California. Flight plan is working nicely. I just lost engine 1. Okay. Well, this airplane can fly on one engine, but I have no idea why that just happened. Let's look at our panel here. Left feather. Okay. So idle. see. And let's see, we've got about 50 miles to go. Trying to work an emergency here. So we got everything shut down there. And with the windmilling, that's not necessarily a good thing. But I'm not sure what has happened. I'm trying to work it out here. I don't know. Let's see. Fuel's not an issue. This is all set up okay. Oil temp isn't an issue. That one's turned off because the engine's off right now. Battery. Ignition. Alright. Well, let's see what we can do here. Well, I've never had an engine failure in this airplane. Airspeed is still good. We're still flying well. Autopilot is still keeping us on track. What can I say? Well, we'll just try and finish the flight on one engine. Smart thing would be to turn around and go back to San Diego, but you know what? Nobody's ever, as I've said before, accused me of being smart. And with that feathered, I wouldn't think that it should be spinning that way. Should be able to feather it and lock it down. But apparently not. So we'll just keep moving on and see where we go from here. Yeah, the passengers are happy. What can I say? Well, if all else fails, I can always open the door and jump. Popular mechanics. I could read that, maybe figure out how to fix it. Hasn't compromised our airspeed too much. I mean, we're a little bit slower, doing about 100 and just over about 122 knots. Alright, well, let's see. That's all the way back. We'll just cut the fuel off completely. Yeah, we'll move over here to the co-pilot. Take a little look outside. And so, of course, right now, most of this is probably covered in smoke because of all the fires out in California. I talked to my family. They live in Fullerton, California, which is about 40 minutes south of Los Angeles, near the Anaheim fire, one of the canyons in Anaheim. And first couple days they had lots of soot and smoke in the area, but haven't had any real problems. They're not in any of the danger areas, so can only hope. California gets wildfires and so on every year, but this year has just been unbelievable. So our hopes and prayers to everyone out there that things slowly get better for them. Hundreds of millions of dollars in damage, plus the tragedy of, at this time they've said there were 23 people that have lost their lives. And so our hopes and prayers go to those families. But maybe that's why we're having problems today with engine failure. Of course, silly me, I didn't check my failures setup in the sim. So this is just one of those random things that I guess we're going to have to deal with until I take the time to check my settings. And I don't need any help. I can have enough problems flying an airplane without the simulation telling me, I think we're going to throw an engine failure into him today. He's silly enough and crazy enough. Let's see if he can keep it in the air. Well, with this little airplane, that's not a problem. It's very, very capable of flying on one engine. Now, whether or not I can land it in one piece, only time will tell. But it hasn't bothered the passengers at all. I don't have anybody worried. Nobody's scared. And I think that's probably because we didn't even have a bump. Now, if they look out the window, the propeller is, as you can see, windmilling, which causes extra drag on the airplane. If it had feathered properly, it wouldn't be moving. And it would cut down on a little bit of the drag, but at this point, it's, we're moving along fine. We've got plenty of airspeed. The airplane is very stable. So I would say really there aren't a lot of issues right now. And we've got, let's see, 15 miles to the next waypoint. And then I believe the airport is just about 4 or 6 miles beyond that. In the meantime, we can just look at, excuse me, get that frog out of my throat there. We'll just look at beautiful Southern California. And it's after 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's another beautiful day in California. And with this airplane, of course, if I lost the second engine, I got plenty of interstate to put it down on. And there are other airports in the area. Whether or not I could glide there because I'm fairly low on an altitude. But like I said, there's plenty of road to put it on. And this ortho for XP just does a beautiful job of rendering the local landscape. So this was a part of the EV-55 I hadn't planned on showing you, how it was able to fly on one engine. But there it is. A very capable little airplane. Yeah, 6 miles to the waypoint, and probably another 4 to 6 miles to about 6 miles to the airport. So after that, it's about 12 miles. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at okay, what has happened here? Looks like my little plug-in has stopped working. Doggone it. Oh, well, this is the day for different things going wrong. Well, ain't that something? Once again. Well. Oh my goodness. Well. XPlane 11 or something, my navigator maybe does not like that. Got rid of that. Let's try this again. Nope, it doesn't like it. Alright. So, I'll just do this on memory then. Excuse me. And 4 miles. Alright. Let's see if we can see it out here. Okay. Here's the ocean. And there be the aerial port. Alright. Here we go. Autopilot off. Okay, gear coming down. Flaps down in the first configuration. Pull the nose up some. And see if we can get it on the ground safely. I want the longer of the two runways. Yeah, can't use the reversers on this, but we're slowing down well. Turn on the nose steering. Okay, so the fire trucks are going to be coming out, so we're just going to see what's going on here. I don't know what it's doing. Well, what the hell? When things go wrong, they go wrong. Alrighty, well, we got it out of there. we're just going to pull it over here and park this thing. And let's put the brake on. Okay, and with that, let's go ahead and get the passengers off, turn off the music, unbuckle them. And we'll say goodbye to our people that never got worried, never got scared, and did 3/4 of the flight on one engine. You're welcome. Have a good day. So, they're off. So we can say goodbye to them. And at that point, we can go ahead and take a look at that landing, which may not have been the prettiest landing in the world, but it was safe. Let's find where our landing takes place. Come on. There we go. I guess we are trailing a little smoke. Well, that's silly. Let's go back here. Forgot to close the doors. Won't do landing with the doors open. And looks like we got some problems with the stream. It's coming and going. Sorry about that. Now, let's try this again. And let's get there. See what we can do. And you can see the prop has stopped windmilling. And even with one engine, the airplane's really very stable. All in all, not a bad landing on just one engine. Stop that. Back it up. Just a touch. Too far. As our shadow starts to catch up with us. Yeah, and our frames per minute on that was, on the landing, was 160. So I can't complain. Not bad on one engine. Yeah, very good. With that, let's go back to our airplane. And we'll call it a stream. Again, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed it. This is Bugeater 64. Until next time, as I always say, safe flying.